Hello everybody, welcome back to the Homeschool Helper video podcast. I'm back out here in my favorite walking trail area. It is morning time. What time is it? It is 8:05 in the morning. And guys, I gotta tell you, I live in Texas and it is currently 74 degrees outside. I mean, it's still technically summer because it's like early September, but man, it is lovely because that has not been the situation this summer. It has been uncool. The utter definition of uncool. It has been way too hot, and it has been really hard to want to go outside. Because I love being outside. I love it. It's the best place in the world. But when it is 105 degrees every day for like 3 months, I don't want to go outside anymore. Going outside is terrible. But getting by, because today is a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm going to share it with you lovely people. Okay? Well, good. I wanted to promote a couple things. Number one, my favorite app on my phone. It is called Seek. All right, here's a picture of it. It is called Seek. And if you don't have this, you need it. And I'll tell you why. Because you can take it anywhere and put it in front of a plant, an animal that you see, and it will identify exactly what plant that is. It is pretty dang cool. Because you can't tell me, like, look at this. I'm walking around. There's this big, giant, beautiful yellow plant. I don't know what it is. And I'm surrounded by them. I'm surrounded by them right now. I'm like walking through them. And I'd love to just put my app on it and say, what is that? And if I have the Seek app, which you could get, you should get it. And I'm not getting paid for this. They're not giving me any money. I just think as homeschool parents, we should be able to look at plants and say, hey, that's what that is. And then we can talk about it. You're cultivating teaching moments when we do that. Stupid apartments in my favorite forest. Ruining everything. No, it's a great one and I recommend it. Another one, it's called Skyview. Skyview Light, I think specifically, is amazing, and it's exactly what it says it is. Nighttime, even daytime, you can pull it out and it'll show you all the stars that you can see, like identify them, constellations, planets. What's really funny is when you do it at night and you look like down below the horizon, you see what like the other part of the world sees. Like you see where the sun is at 10 o'clock at night. It's awesome. Skyview Light, get it. So it just rained last night, and so it's a little slippery out here. But hey, I wanted to talk about something kind of funny. I want to talk about what it means to me to be a dad in the homeschool world, in the homeschool life, you know? Because everywhere I go, whenever the person who's in charge or leading, or when we go to like a book club, or when we go to community day for CC, or if I go to like a convention, or if I go to like a practicum, anything, I got to tell you, almost every single time when whoever's in charge is addressing the group, you probably know what I'm going to say. They say, all right, mommies, let's get started. And I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe it's because as a church worker as well, I'm a youth pastor, I am also finding myself constantly surrounded by women, which is not a problem. It's just funny. Like everywhere I go, I find myself constantly surrounded by women who are passionate about what they're doing and love what they're doing, and that's fantastic. But I gotta tell you, I would love to see more dudes involved in this stuff. To see more guys taking a deep interest in homeschooling, and not just by helping out in the home. I know that guys are helping out in the homes, but like going to the things, finding a way to show up for like community day for classical conversations. If you're doing that, there's usually like a family presentation time. Like every week we do that, and every week the dad's not there. I don't know. This is not a rant against dad being uninvolved. I really hope this comes off more as like, I want to encourage, like, guys, you have a place here in the homeschool world. It's not just for moms. It's not just for women. We need to be heavily involved in this thing. We need to be a presence, and we need to be modeling what it looks like to be a godly father, a godly teacher, and just people need to see men doing good things. You know, not just our kids, but like men in general. We haven't had a good century, put it that way. And beyond that, we've made some bad choices. We've made some negative impacts on the world. And boy, I would love for homeschooling and just education maybe in general, and of course the church, to kind of lead out on reversing that nonsense, right? To lead out on showing people that there are good godly men out there that care and love people and want to do good things. So what can we do? How can we be more involved? Let's start that dialogue. Let's talk about it. Because I think it's extremely important to be more involved as men in the education and upbringing, of course, of our children. Some wild sunflowers back there. Every time I walk this path, it's almost like the landscape has completely changed. Like a month ago, it did not look like this. It was just flat, like nothing growing here but like dead grass, right? I guess 105-degree weather for 3 months has really taken its toll. Right down there is like my favorite fishing spot. But since these apartments have showed up, the water level's all jacked up, and there's a bunch of construction junk down there, so ruined. So on the subject of getting outside, and also on the subject of dads, encouraging you guys to find ways to get more involved in the homeschooling process. First of all, I'd love to hear stories from guys that are super involved in their homeschooling process and how they've made that work and what that's meant to them and what impact maybe they've even seen. And maybe it's negative. Maybe they're like, I don't know, I don't feel like I really help out much. That's okay. Share that story. Tell that story. That's valuable. But on that subject, I was just thinking. So I'm meeting today with a guy who does missionary work in Romania. He runs a summer camp ministry, so it's all kind of youth ministry based out there. And he does stuff during the year with sports camps. It's pretty cool. He's an amazing dude named Julian with Life Romania. Check him out. But what I'm saying is, as part of the whole, how can the whole family be involved? I'll tell you, and this isn't revolutionary information. Do some service time. Like, find a place locally that you can get involved on a consistent basis and go out there and do stuff together as a family. This way, it's not really like coursework. You're not like teaching math. You're not teaching history. You are modeling good life, right? And locally is extremely important, right? Like we have a group here called Laundry Love, where it's so basic. You just show up at this laundromat with a bunch of quarters and you help people who are struggling with just financial stuff and like can't really find a place to wash their clothes. You pay to wash their clothes. It's pretty amazing. You hang out with them, and because laundry takes a minute, you get time to really get to know these people and talk to them, and you see a lot of the same faces every week, and it's just awesome. And so stuff like that, you know, if you're part of a church, I'm sure they're doing something that you can get involved in, or just make something up on your own, like that right there. Like consistently showing up at a place and being helpful and being generous, people will show up. People will show up to be helped, to be served. You'd be surprised at what God would bring you if you would make yourself available to do stuff like that. And again, I'm sure that most of you are probably already doing stuff like this, and I'd love to know what they are. Tell us in the comments, tell us what you're already doing, how you're serving your local community, and then beyond local, and this is not easy. It takes money, it takes fundraising, it takes time, it takes using up vacation days. But taking like a trip specifically to serve others is an obviously outstanding way to make a difference in your family and in others. And so again, something I highly recommend. I know that there are countless organizations that are constantly looking for families, not just individuals, but families that can come and serve and build things or just be a helpful resource to people outside of your local context, local and foreign or just long distance service trips. Huge for families, especially homeschool families. What an amazing opportunity to model things that we are desperate to see in our children, to model actually serving and giving parts of ourselves away for the benefits of others. I don't know any other way that's better to really do that, especially in such a concentrated time where you just get a whole week of doing it. It's just, what would be absolutely miraculous is if you were able to pair that with like a family vacation. Like maybe you go serve and then you go take time away. Because, I mean, that's the Jesus model, right? You see him go into a town, he serves, and then what does he do? He needs to retreat. He gets away, he takes his disciples away, and they unpack and they debrief and they ask questions. Man. And again, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying book a trip right now, but maybe try and build it in to your family rhythms. Like, that's one of the things that we've really tried to do. It doesn't always work, but anytime that we do find an opportunity to go and serve, like when we go to Romania, we usually take 2 or 3 days and stop on the way somewhere. Like, we go to Romania, we serve, and then we usually stop in like London or in Germany for 3 or 4 days on the way back, just so we can have time to decompress and discuss and debrief and talk about everything we did. It's huge. Those moments are huge. Seriously though, what are these things? I'm gonna have to pull the Seek app out and check this out, because it can't all be sunflowers, can it? These things are really cool. Well, hey guys, I think that's about it for me today. Thank you again for watching these. I can't tell you how much it means to me to know that those of you who spend the time to really get into this and watch it are hopefully benefiting from it. I'm not the wisest person in the world. I'm not the most experienced person in the world, but I do feel like I have something to say. And for those of you who listen and hear and act based on what I say, you can't even believe how much that warms my heart. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit all the buttons, the like button, the join button, the thanks button. Hit all the buttons. Just hit them all. Just mash them with your palm. And I will see you next time. And remember, hit that comment page. I talked about this in my last video, just how life-giving my comment section is, because everyone is almost always super positive and they share stories and they tell us about what's going on in their homeschool lives. So do it. Answer some of those questions I ask. I love you guys. I'll see you again soon. I'm gonna finish my walk. Y'all have a great day.